How you doing, good people? David Taub here from nextlevelguitar.com. What I have for you today is another major scale, but this one I'm going to show you how to connect several major scales. I call this a major scale link, and what it's going to do, it's going to get you playing across the fretboard more in a more lateral fashion than just, straight up and down vertically. Now I have another lesson here on YouTube on another linking major scales in a different part of the neck, so make sure you check that one out too. The great thing about these is that it uses, you're going to be using the same fingering throughout the whole shape, so it makes it really easy. And in the previous one I did a 1, 2, 4 fingering, and in this one I'm going to go 1, 3, 4 in a different part of the neck. There's many different ways to play major scales, and basically a major scale is very important because it's the elemental constant. In music theory, all things are compared back to the major scale. And we all know the major scale, right? That's the scale that goes do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? How many times have we all sung that in elementary school? The do song, or whatever song name that was. It's a 7-note scale, and the intervals basically are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's what everything is compared to in major, in music theory. So we're going to do this scale today in the key of C major, and those notes in a C major scale, C major easy scale, remember, has no sharps or flats. So the notes are just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And you hear that real do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, right? And eventually you want to be able to play that scale made across the whole neck. I like teaching scales, showing you the intervals of the scale, and then also know the notes of the scale, right? So we also have lessons on knowing the notes on the neck too, and then how to connect them so you don't kind of get boxed into one positional type of playing, but rather you're playing more across the neck, and that gives you a more much more liquidy type sound, and I think it kind of can get you expanding your ideas as opposed to just always thinking one position, one shape, one box. It kind of blows things out this way, and I have other lessons here also on doing this where I link together pentatonic scales into expanded scales, so be sure to check those out. So we've got a whole library here. This scale, if we do it in the key of C, is going to sound like this, and I'm going to take it across the neck in 3 octave. I'm using a 1, 3, 4 fingering for the whole thing. It's basically 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Right? Here's the 8th fret right here. So this is our C note. And that is going to be, we're going to play this in the key of C. Okay? So this 3-octave major scale, though, we're going to play the whole scale with our 1st, 3rd, and 4th finger. We're not going to use the 2nd finger at all. And basically, you could find this scale anywhere by putting your pinky on the root note you want to play. In this instance, C is our root, 8th fret, low E string. Put your pinky there, and you're going to play this 1, 3, and 4 on the low E string. In this instance, frets 5, 7, and 8. And then 1, 3, and 4 on the A string. And then 1 on the D string, which is the 5th fret. And then you're going to slide up a whole step. So here's the pattern you want to remember. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. Remember those notes in C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, but you're going to really focus on those C notes too, but just to show you the whole shape, we'll start it here with the 1st finger, just so you can get this 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. Then on the D string, slide up a whole step, so now you're at the 7th fret, and you repeat it. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. So I'm on the 7th fret with the 1st finger on the D string, and you play 7, 9, 10, and then repeat that on the G string. 7, 9, 10. Here's what we have so far. Notice that transition. When I get to the D string, I just go up a whole step. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. Whole step. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Then you're going to go to the B string, so you got to kind of go up a half a step, kind of with your finger, but on the B string you're going to play that G note, which is at the 8th fret, and you're going to take that note with your 1st finger, and then you're going to go up a whole step, so it's at 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1 again, so 1, and then you slide up a whole step from the 8th to the 10th fret on the B string, and then you play 1, 3, 4 on that B string, which is the 10, 12, 13, there's our C note again, and then 1, 3, 4 again on the high E string. 10, 12, 13, right? So here's the whole thing really slow. Just landing on the C's kind of, because you want to resolve a lot to those C notes. That's your root, and just practice that. So here's kind of like how you want to think of it. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, up a whole step. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, up a whole step. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Right? Now descending, same thing. But you got to go back that whole step again. So you just, again, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, slide back a whole step, right? And then 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, back a whole step, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, and then climb back up to that C note. Because you really want to hear those C notes. Emphasize, it's all about emphasis, those C notes, because we're in the key of C. So just up and back, just practice that and get real fluid at it. Doesn't have to be fast. Land on those C's, because that'll help develop that ear. And then take it and practice it like with hammer-ons, where you just pick the first note and then hammer pick the first note with the first finger, and then hammer 3 and 4 on each string. Real good way to pick up speed. I did some pull-offs here. I'll just give you some lick ideas as long as we're down here. When we're playing, and you're playing this 4-3-1, 4-3-1, or 1-3-4, whatever, if you're ascending or descending, the great thing about these major scales, the 7-note scale as opposed to like a pentatonic scale with 5 notes, is you have half steps in this scale. Notes that are 1 fret, right? Notes that are 1 fret apart. And what you want to do a lot is you want to, especially if you're playing like over a majory ballad type chords or a mellow sound or something where you want to mode a lot of feeling, is practice your half step bends. So wherever you see these 2 notes together, you're going to bend 1 up a half step to meet the pitch of the second one. And then see how I check that pitch? It's the same note. I'm bending it a half a step or 1 fret. So you have these all over the place with these major scales because of the half steps. Remember, whenever you're bending, there I'm bending to the C, the root note. You always want to know where those C's are. All over the neck. Because that's, again, your root note in this particular instance. But really, those half-step bends are really come in handy. Practice that bend, and bend not just once, but maybe bend twice. Throw some vibrato on it. You see the different bends I could get? Like that time, I bent the note really fast. I bent it up and down. See, so you gotta get both pitches. I bend it up, the B note, 12th fret, I bend it to the C and then let it down to the B. But I did it quick. Then you can do it slower and hold it, and you get all these different sounds. So I hope you like that lesson, and again, you know, my goal is to help you see the neck in more of an expanded, more of a lateral type of way. Eventually, you want to get to the point of kind of just seeing the whole neck as like one big scale, one big, you know, opportunity. That's how I kind of look at the neck. I'm not really looking at it in like positions. I look at it more in terms of intervals and just kind of like one big scale, and then when I change keys, you just kind of move that whole chunk around depending on what key you're in. And a real important thing that I'm a big proponent of is practicing over jam tracks, because that will give you a rhythm behind you. You'll have chords behind you, and then you could kind of, you know, target certain notes over certain chords. You'll know the rhythm, and that'll help you with the rhythm in your lead playing. It's fun too to practice over jam tracks, and I have a couple different sets of jam tracks out. I have a rock jam track set and a blues jam track set that come with a coinciding booklet that has tons and tons of scales diagrammed out. The tracks are killer sounding. They're studio quality. I went into the studio and laid them down. They sound great. They're motivating to play over. Check them out by clicking on the link. YouTube changes the positions of the text box right now. It's underneath here. Click on that blue link and then you could hear some of the jam tracks. And we have some in the key of C. One C major on the rock jam tracks, plus I have a C major ballad, and the scale I just showed you would be perfect for practicing, but you really want to use the jam tracks. So click on that link and you could go to the jam tracks page. Just check them out. You know, you might like them. I'm David Taub, co-founder of nextlevelguitar.com. Be sure to go to our instructional website at nextlevelguitar.com. It's over 850 video lessons, written lessons, guitar forum, chord library. It's packed, awesome, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Take care, keep on rocking, and we'll see you in the next lesson.